Welcome along to SIGA's inaugural Sport Integrity Week presented by MasterCard. We've got 5 days of hard-hitting discussion and debate about integrity in sport from industry leaders. My name is Ben Jacobs. I'll be your MC for the week. Please do use the hashtag SIW to get involved. We'd love your questions and feedback throughout the week. To kick things off and provide an official welcome, I'm delighted to introduce SIGA's chairman, Franco Frattini.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, I'm particularly proud and honored to open this, I would say, unprecedented event. We are starting the Sport Integrity Week. It never happened in the history of organizations dealing with sport integrity, sport corruption. It never happened, and nevertheless, SIGA was able to organize it despite the serious limitation linked with COVID-19. This is why I'm particularly grateful to all those that have been cooperating with us, particularly and first of all, our CEO, our dear Emmanuel, his staff, Katie First, and all those that have been making that initiative a reality. Dear friends, I think we will be discussing during this week among institutions, sport organizations, private entities, experts, law enforcement people, all those who are dealing with sport, how to promote legality, how to prevent and maybe, of course, to punish crimes and violations of law in different forms. All those people will be discussing for an entire week under the coordination, under the edges of SIGA. Is that for SIGA, as I said at the very beginning, a very unprecedented and successful event in itself? Only the fact that despite the difficulties we were able to organize it. We have now to talk about proposals, to express opinions, to implement initiatives already undertaken. And of course, we will have to talk about corruption in the field of sport. We talk about illegal money flows, another terrible phenomenon linked to illegal transactions worldwide. We will have to talk infiltrations of organized crime and mafias in the world of sport, and of course, the exploitation of the young athletes, mainly those coming from the poorer countries in the world that are, in many cases, victims of exploitation from clubs, organizations, networks of criminals. And of course, I would mention, last but not least, we will have to talk about racism and sexism in the field of sport. These are two under-evaluated offenses to all of us that believe in purity of the world of sport. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, we will be promoting a better cooperation between private sector and public sector, as well as civil society. SIGA is, in my view, an excellent expression of civil society. SIGA was able to mobilize so many players during this week, we can say that mobilization again in itself is a great success. Dear friends, nobody is immune from the risk of crime, illegality, violations in the field of sport. Illegality, in my view, transforms the Olympic values of sport, in which they believe, into business, into manipulation, into the destruction of the purity of sport, which should be at the basis of our activities in that field. This is why SIGA exists. This is why SIGA was born. This is why, being a judge myself, dealing with anti-mafia procedures in my country, Italy, it is not an easy job for an anti-mafia judge in Italy, but this is why myself I'm proud to be the chairman of SIGA, because we have to share the awareness that only by working together we can succeed. You know, dear friends and colleagues, organized crime is making of sport, from betting to match fixing, a growing multi-billions opportunity. Growing multi-billions opportunity, as it is demonstrated by the latest report of Europol recently published. We are talking about transnational crime. This does not lower level, minor organization. I'm dealing with mafia. I know that in my country, mafia's gangs have been interested in buying, for example, lower level sport clubs in economic difficulties that decided to buy, that decided to infiltrate or to participate, just to show to the environment they are doing for sport, trying to clean the face of criminality. And this is our responsibility, to unveil, to prevent, to punish those horrible forms of infiltration. And of course, we have many instruments. The instrument number one is, in my view, education. SIGA is making probably the biggest investment into the younger generations, the young athletes. We establish SIGA Youth, or the young athletes, or the young people that are involved. They will be the protagonist. Education is the first key to prevent and to succeed. Then, awareness raising. SIGA has been promoting a growing number of participants. All those participants are sharing the same vision. Sport should be clean, otherwise it is not sport. It's a simple form of money investment, and this cannot be tolerated in any form. The key number three is the international exchange of information between law enforcement entities, between states, between sport organizations, sharing information, exchanging information, as Europol has stressed in its latest report, is the key. It is the key in any other form of crime. When we fight terrorism, without exchanging information on the circulation of terrorists, how can we prevent and fight? The same applies to sport infiltration of criminals. The key, number 4, is strong prevention. But strong prevention, dear friends, is not enough. We do need tough punishment of those criminals that try to pollute our pure environment of sport and to become an occasion of business. In conclusion, dear friends, I wish you all the best for this exceptional occasion of Sport Integrity Week. Stay united, fight against any illegality. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends of SIGA and Sport Integrity, thank you very much for tuning in. And welcome to the Sport Integrity Week, the first ever digital global event fully dedicated to sport integrity. We have ahead of us 5 action-packed days of forward-thinking, action-oriented, reform-boosting attitude. A week of lively, dynamic, interactive, and vibrant discussions about sport's current state of affairs and what needs to be done by sport and the wider industry to restore their reputation and ensure that they are really fit for purpose and therefore capable of playing their role to the fullest in today's battered and bruised society and global economy. Over the next 5 days, we will have more than 60 world-class digital events from all over the world, across all continents, involving more than 200 global industry leaders, senior executives, and top experts. More than 30 moderators, representing more than 30 nationalities, and a record-breaking number of organizations and delegates. All this brought to you by SIGA, the world's largest independent, neutral, multi-stakeholder global coalition in the field of sports governance and integrity. Ladies and gentlemen, time has come for us to have a serious talk. We leave troubled times. The future is unpredictable. The threat of a second COVID-19 global wave is real and does not inspire greater optimism. But I know that we, humans, are resilient. In the face of adversity, when we really want, we can do the impossible. We can achieve the unachievable. I have therefore every confidence that if we stand united, if we stand strong in our resolve, we will overcome this crisis and emerge stronger. Stronger as individuals, stronger as organizations, stronger as nations. As history teaches, in moments of great difficulty, distress, and despair, leaders emerge. Hope can be restored. Solutions can be found. What matters is not the dimension of the challenges, not the dimension of the challenges at all. What matters is what you are willing to do to overcome that. The choice is yours and yours only. At SIGA, we have made a long time ago our choice. We have made that choice the very minute we decided to set up this international multi-stakeholder global coalition. We have chosen to disrupt rather than to conform. And we have renewed that very same choice 6 months ago when this global pandemic occurred. Despite the risks and the uncertainty, we gave a step forward. We did not hesitate. We were swift in our action and decisive on our resolve. We were indomitable in doing what had to be done. In a time of unprecedented pessimism, we promised to deliver 30 boosting measures, 30 thought leadership initiatives in 60 working days. We call it SIGA Stripes, remember? And we delivered each and every of those 30 boosting measures within the deadline that had been promised, 60 working days. And it is the same unbreakable spirit, the same invincible will that we are here today, bringing to you the first ever Sport Integrity Week. We could not have done this without you. And for that, you have our recognition and our appreciation. For much too long, your voice has been ignored. We know it. Your calls for proper governance and integrity in sport have been neglected by the system. But today, here and now, I want to tell you that I hear you, that SIGA hears you, and that you are not alone. Acting together, joining us, joining SIGA at the forefront of this united front, we will raise the bar for sport integrity. How are we going to do that? I will tell you. It's simple. The answer lies on the SIGA Universal Standards on good governance, financial integrity, sports betting integrity, youth development, and child protection. They are the best in class. They are the top of the pyramid. They are, in the absence of a better word, the silver bullet to enable sport to regain the trust, to regain the confidence, and to position itself where it belongs, right at the podium. That is a great, huge amount of work to get done, and it has to get done sooner rather than later. So I urge you to adopt the SIGA Universal Standards so that you can fulfill the expectations of those who invest their passion and their money into sport, those who make the sport what it is. A vibrant, unique field of passion, a catalyst of social and economic development. There is no second chance to do what is right, and it's long overdue. The time is now, and commends action from the sport movement. It commends their leadership. It commends the sport movement to undertake accountability for their own affairs. Sport owns the problems. It must also own the solutions. And the solutions are here in the form of the SIGA Universal Standard. For much too long, we have heard sports organizations, and I am a man of sport. I was, as everyone knows, the founder and the CEO of all European leagues and all the world leagues. So I know what sport is. I know where the problems lie, and I know how to fix them. Because I have the willing, I have the courage to give a step forward and do what it takes. I'm not the only one. So I call on all those out there who feel the same way, who feel that the time for sport integrity has come, to do what's right, to take the lead and give a step forward, to shine a light, to show the way, to trailblazer, to motivate, to inspire, so that sport can be this beacon of light and this lighthouse of hope for the current generations and the future to come. But today, in this demanding world where integrity is king and actions speak louder than words, the fans, the sponsors, the broadcasters, the governments, and all those who really care about sport, they expect and deserve more. They want more than just mere proclamations and self-assessments. They want a truly independent, objective, rigorous, fact-based evidence that demonstrates the exact level of compliance by sports organizations in comparison with the SIGA Universal Standards. That is the only evidence that is acceptable. And this can be done through the SIGA independent rating system, operated by an independent third party, the British Standard Institution, and published every year on the exact same time, so that everyone knows where sport lies in relation to the sport integrity independent rating system. That is, ladies and gentlemen, what we have been waiting for, and it's time to move on. Luckily, our efforts are paying off. More and more sports organizations are willing to lead by example. I am therefore delighted to announce here in firsthand that UEFA, the European Football Governing Body, the International Mixed Martial Arts Federation, the National Olympic Committees of Portugal, of Kosovo, and so many other leading sports organizations are adopting the SIGA Universal Standards and going through our independent rating system. I take my hat off to those trailblazers, those pioneers. And I hope that the other organizations follow the footsteps as soon as possible. Because the reality, ladies and gentlemen, is that sport is in dire straits. The reality is that this is not the moment for weaknesses, for doubt, for hesitations. This is not the time to be complacent, to pretend it's not our business, to simply turn a blind eye. We need a complete shift of paradigm. This is indisputable a moment for leadership, not for weaknesses or ambiguity. So I want to talk it directly to you, face to face, with no intermediaries. I want to talk to the people, the millions of passionate fans out there, especially the youngsters who are given the privilege and the opportunity to speak with. I want to ask you, where do you stand? How important is clean sport for you? And what are you really prepared to do? And how far are you willing to go to make this happen? I urge you, do not be afraid to do what is right. We need radical change to shatter the status quo and tackle the challenges heads on. So join SIGA. Join us at the forefront of this wonderful, amazing global movement. Take ownership of this Sport Integrity Week. Get involved, make your voice heard, discuss with others, pass the message, use your power through social media and every network. Inspire and motivate your friends. This is your opportunity, because this is how you will overcome the void left by the lack of global leadership and the resilience of those who want simply to perpetuate the status quo. Tell them that those days are over. That train has left the station, and nothing now will be as it used to be. The time for sport integrity has come. And that is how you and us will change the world. We count on you. You can count on us. Have a great Sport Integrity Week. Enjoy it and live the moment. Thank you.
Hello everyone and greetings from Budapest, Hungary.
Hello from Kosovo.
My name is Jerice Cologne.
My name is Rusa.
I'm Ian Smith.
Cameron Casoglis.
Edwin Moses.
My name's Afi Sheikh and I'm Head of Starlist and Integrity Services here in London, England.
I'm Senior Manager of Member Associations Governance Services at FIFA.
Integrity is the bedrock of all competitive sport. Without it, there is nothing.
By definition, it is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles.
Integrity is surely one of the most significant elements in sports.
As a cricket umpire, one of the most important tasks for any umpire is to make sure the decision making is as efficient as possible. This can only be possible if umpires work with integrity.
Perhaps now more than ever, we recognize the importance of this vision for sports and the need for integrity in every aspect of sport.
We are a member of SIGA, and not only because we believe in integrity in sports, but to the fact that we believe in coalitions and collective efforts to achieve change.
We all know that sport is one of the most powerful things on the planet for bringing about societal change, and we all want to be part of that, and we want you to be part of it, and we absolutely all need to do it together.
This is a task none of us can achieve on our own. It is one that all of us must achieve together.
I believe that together we're stronger.
Together, united, we can effect positive change by developing and promoting integrity principles and values.
I would like, first of all, to praise SIGA's leadership in the persons of its chairman and its CEO for having had the courage to organize this event under the current circumstances.
Thank you to SIGA for the work that you do for sports integrity and for the example your independent rating and verification systems for the world of sports.
organisations such as SIGA, who are there to make standards better and to uniform all the standards throughout the industry, are needed.
SIGA is unavoidable and unrivaled organization with unrivaled role in the field of the integrity of the sport.
I think this first Integrity Week is very important.
ISST is proud to be associated with the SIGA movement.
I am proud to partner with the Sport Integrity Global Alliance and participate in this year's Sports Integrity Week.